What if I told you that one man born in the harshest landscapes of Mongolia would go on to build the largest contiguous empire in history? A warrior so ruthless that entire civilizations trembled at the mere mention of his name. A leader so strategic that he revolutionized warfare itself. This is the untold, awe-inspiring story of the legend, the Conqueror, the unstoppable force Genghis Khan. But was he a brutal tyrant or a visionary genius? Stay tuned as we unravel the unbelievable rise of the Mongol Empire and the man behind it all. 1. Huimbil Beginnings. Genghis Khan was born as Temujin in the year 1162, into the Borjigin clan of the Mongols. His early life was nothing short of tragic. His father, Yesujay, was poisoned by a rival tribe, leaving young Temujin, his mother Holon, and his siblings abandoned and struggling to survive. He grew up in poverty, hunted for food, and even faced betrayal when his own tribe refused to support him. Yet, amidst this hardship, Temujin honed his skills, learning the ways of survival, strategy, and leadership. His life was marked by constant struggle, including being captured and enslaved by rival clans. But he refused to break. Instead, he escaped captivity and began forging alliances with powerful Mongol leaders. His difficult childhood shaped his determination and resilience, making him the warrior the world would one day fear. He quickly realized that strength alone wasn't enough. To survive, he needed a strategy, intelligence, and unwavering loyalty from his followers. These early lessons would go on to define his leadership style and military conquests. 2. The First Alliances. Temujin understood that unity was the key to power. He formed a crucial alliance with Togrul, the Khan of the Karaits, who became his mentor. Through this relationship, he gained military experience and support. His childhood blood brother, Jamukha, also played a significant role in his rise. However, not all alliances lasted. A power struggle between Temujin and Jamukha led to a fierce battle, where Temujin's army was initially defeated. But he learned from his mistakes, rebuilt his forces, and adopted a strict meritocracy promoting talented warriors, rather than relying on noble lineage. This ideology set him apart from traditional Mongol leaders who favored aristocracy. His new military structure attracted thousands of warriors who had once been divided by tribal loyalties. Over time, more leaders saw the benefits of his rule, and Temujin's power grew exponentially. This period was crucial in proving his ability to command loyalty and lead by example. His alliances were not just about war, they were a testament to his diplomatic genius. 3. Uniting the Ngo tribes. By 1206, after years of battles and diplomacy, Temujin successfully united the Mongol tribes. He introduced a structured military system, a legal code called Yasa, and a vision of expansion. His warriors were disciplined, organized, and fiercely loyal. That same year, he was formally declared Genghis Khan, the universal ruler. With a new title and an army stronger than ever, he set his sights on the world beyond Mongolia. This was a monumental moment in history, marking the first time the Mongol people were truly united under one banner. He abolished tribal distinctions and ensured loyalty to him alone. His strategies of rewarding merit and promoting capable leaders over aristocrats solidified his empire's internal strength. His army was not just a group of warriors, but a well-oiled machine that could adapt, innovate, and strike with unparalleled speed. His success in uniting the Mongols was just the beginning of a much larger conquest. 4. Invasion of China. China was divided into multiple kingdoms, including the Taixia, Jin dynasty, and Song dynasty. Genghis Khan first targeted Xia, using psychological warfare and superior tactics to force their surrender. The Jin dynasty, however, was a greater challenge. Their well-fortified cities made direct assaults difficult, but Genghis Khan used espionage, scorched earth tactics, and deception to weaken them. The Mongols eventually crushed the Jin forces, proving that no empire was safe from their wrath. This war tested Genghis Khan's ability to lead large-scale campaigns beyond the steppes. He learned to integrate siege warfare into his strategies, adapting foreign military technologies for Mongol use. The war also showcased his unique ability to break enemy morale by spreading terror. He did not just win battles. He dominated entire regions, ensuring that those who survived would fear his name for generations. China was only the beginning of his empire's unstoppable expansion. 5. The Western Campaign. After China, Genghis Khan turned his gaze westward. His next target was the Khwarezmian Empire, ruled by Shah Ala ad-Din Muhammad. When Mongol merchants were executed by the Shah, Genghis Khan responded with one of the most devastating invasions in history. The Mongols stormed city after city, showing no mercy to those who resisted. They used advanced siege weapons, diversion tactics, and sheer brutality to overwhelm their enemies. The once mighty Khwarezmian Empire was utterly destroyed. This campaign proved that Genghis Khan was not just a conqueror, he was a force of nature. He ensured that no act of treachery against him went unpunished. His campaigns westward also opened up pathways for trade and communication, laying the foundation for future Mongol rulers to establish connections between Europe and Asia. This was a war of both vengeance and strategy, one that shaped the course of history. Genghis Khan personally led his army across treacherous deserts, rivers, and mountains, demonstrating his unmatched endurance and leadership. His troops employed psychological warfare, spreading terror ahead of their arrival, which often led to cities surrendering without resistance. The Mongols adapted their battle tactics with each encounter, ensuring victory against enemies with different styles of warfare. Despite his wrath, Genghis Khan also absorbed knowledge from the lands he conquered. He recruited skilled engineers, scholars, and craftsmen, incorporating their expertise into his empire. The destruction of the Khwarezmian Empire also sent a message to future adversaries defying the Mongols could lead to complete annihilation. His invasion of the West did not just reshape military history, it also paved the way for the Mongols to become a dominant force in Persia and beyond. The Mongol presence in the region would continue to influence trade, governance, and even cultural exchanges for centuries to come. Genghis Khan was not just waging war, he was forging an empire that would transcend generations. 6. Military innovations and strategies. Genghis Khan revolutionized warfare. His highly mobile cavalry, organized command structure, and use of intelligence networks gave him an unmatched advantage. He adopted Chinese siege techniques, used Persian engineers, and mastered psychological warfare to weaken his enemies before battle. One of his greatest strategies was divide and conquer, exploiting rivalries among his enemies and turning their forces against each other. The Mongol army was not just an unstoppable force, it was an adaptable one. His warriors could travel long distances at incredible speeds, surprising their enemies and striking before they had time to react. He trained his soldiers to fight as a cohesive unit rather than as individuals, making them deadlier than any force of their time. His military genius reshaped the world of combat forever. To ensure discipline, Genghis Khan implemented a strict chain of command, with each unit divided into groups of tens, hundreds, and thousands a structure that made his forces incredibly efficient. He also introduced dummy soldiers and deceptive retreats, tricking his opponents into overextending their defenses before delivering the final blow. His army was not only fast, but also highly self-sufficient, relying on horses for mobility and survival. Each soldier carried multiple bows, arrows, and rations to sustain long campaigns without supply lines. The Mongols even used biological warfare, launching infected bodies over city walls to spread disease among their enemies. Beyond sheer brutality, his ability to integrate conquered soldiers and local expertise into his ranks made the Mongol military one of the most effective forces in history. He adapted new technologies from every region he conquered, refining his strategies with each victory. His innovative approach to warfare paved the way for future military tactics and remains studied by strategists even today. Genghis Khan didn't just fight wars, he redefined them. 7. Governance and legal system. Genghis Khan was not just a warrior, he was also a lawmaker and visionary ruler. He introduced the Yasa, a strict legal code that ensured order within the empire. It covered laws on loyalty, theft, religious tolerance, and military discipline. His rule encouraged trade, communication, and cultural exchange, laying the foundation for what would later be known as the Pax Mongolica, a period of stability across Asia and Europe. Unlike most conquerors, he focused on administration as much as warfare. He promoted religious tolerance, allowing Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and other faiths to coexist within his empire, a rare policy for the time. His postal system, the yam, improved communication across vast lands, allowing messages to travel thousands of miles in record time. His encouragement of trade helped establish the Silk Road as a vital global network, ensuring safe passage for merchants. He also implemented tax reforms, ensuring fairer collection methods and reducing the burden on the poor while protecting artisans and scholars. His legal system was designed to eliminate corruption and favoritism, treating all subjects equally under the law. To maintain unity, he abolished traditional tribal hierarchies and promoted leaders based on merit rather than birthright. His military and administrative structures influenced later governments, including those of China, Russia, and the Middle East. His rule was as much about building as it was about conquering, transforming a scattered nomadic people into a powerful, structured civilization. Even centuries later, elements of his governance can be seen in modern administrative and legal systems, proving that his impact was not just military, but also deeply political and cultural. 8. Death and monastery. In 1227, Genghis Khan died under mysterious circumstances. Some say he fell off his horse. Others claim he was wounded in battle. His death was kept secret for some time, and his burial site remains undiscovered to this day. Despite his passing, his empire continued to expand under his sons and grandsons, eventually becoming the largest empire in human history. Even in death, his influence did not wane. His children and generals continued his conquests, ensuring his empire remained unrivaled. His burial site is still one of history's greatest mysteries, adding to his legendary status. Some believe he was buried in a secret tomb, guarded by an army of loyal followers who took the location to their graves. Legends claim that an entire river was diverted to conceal his resting place, ensuring that no enemy or grave robber would ever find it. Others say that every worker involved in the burial was executed to protect the secret. Over the centuries, many have tried to locate his tomb using historical texts, satellite imaging, and archaeological expeditions, but to no avail. The Mongolian government has even restricted certain areas from excavation, further deepening the mystery. Some scholars argue that his resting place may never be found, keeping his final legacy forever shrouded in myth. His story, though centuries old, continues to shape our world today. His empire left an indelible mark on history, from military strategies to governance systems. The legend of Genghis Khan endures, inspiring countless books, films, and studies. Even now, the search for his tomb fuels curiosity and adventure, proving that his influence is far from forgotten. Genghis Khan may have died, but his legend will never fade. 9. MPXHT on the modern world. Genghis Khan's legacy is complex. His brutal campaigns caused the deaths of millions, but his empire also facilitated trade, diplomacy, and technological exchange. He laid the groundwork for modern global interactions and shaped entire nations. His conquests helped establish the Silk Road as a major trade route, allowing ideas, culture, and goods to spread across continents. Under his rule, postal systems were improved, making long-distance communication more efficient. Many of his administrative policies influenced later governments, emphasizing law, taxation, and military organization. The Mongol Empire also played a role in the Renaissance, as their control over trade routes brought Eastern innovations to Europe. His influence extended beyond governance. Scientific advancements, medical knowledge, and artistic traditions flourished under Mongol rule. Today, genetic studies suggest that millions of people worldwide carry Genghis Khan's lineage, a reflection of his vast empire and personal legacy. Even now, modern warfare strategies and leadership principles draw inspiration from his military innovations and tactical genius. His impact is undeniable, shaping the very course of world history. 10. Li Jiyin and Seo Integravi. Even today, Genghis Khan remains one of history's most controversial figures. Was he a ruthless warlord, a genius statesman, or both? Some see him as a hero who united the world, while others view him as a brutal conqueror responsible for mass destruction. His military campaigns resulted in unparalleled bloodshed, wiping out entire cities and civilizations. Yet his empire also fostered an era of stability and economic growth. Some historians argue that his rule accelerated cultural exchange, breaking down barriers between East and West, while others highlight the immense suffering he caused. The Mongols' reputation for destruction is balanced by their progressive policies on religious tolerance, trade, and administration. Even his personal life is surrounded by mystery. His burial site remains undiscovered, adding to the legend that surrounds his name. In Mongolia, he is celebrated as a national hero, with monuments and holidays dedicated to his memory, whereas in other parts of the world, he is remembered as a terrifying conqueror. His influence reaches beyond history books. He appears in movies, literature, and even modern political discourse. Some leaders have studied his methods, while others condemn his actions as barbaric. Whether seen as a visionary or a villain, Genghis Khan's legacy is one that continues to spark debate centuries after his death. What do you think? Was Genghis Khan a hero, a villain, or something in between? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more legendary stories from history.